Dieter Dengler grew up in the ruins of World War II Germany. At age 5, he looked up and saw an Allied fighter plane diving through the sky. That moment sparked a dream. He would become a pilot. Determined to fly, Dengler emigrated to the United States as a teenager, and in 1957 he joined the U.S. Air Force. But despite his passion and dedication, he was never given the chance to fly. After completing his enlistment, he attended college and eventually earned a spot in the Navy's Aviation Cadet Program, finally putting him in the cockpit. On February 1, 1966, Lieutenant Junior Grade Dengler launched from the USS Ranger on a mission in his A-1 Skyraider. Poor weather diverted his flight to a secondary target in Laos. Flying low through the haze and smoke, Lieutenant Dengler lost sight of his group. Hours into his mission, anti-aircraft fire blew the right wing off his plane, forcing him to crash land in hostile territory. Immediately, he destroyed his survival radio and scattered his gear to avoid detection, but he was captured the next day by communist forces. After a failed escape attempt, he was recaptured, tortured, and brutally punished. He was hung upside down over biting ants, dragged through villages behind a water buffalo, and suspended in a well, which forced him to stay awake to keep from drowning. Eventually transferred to a prison camp, Lieutenant Dengler met 6 other prisoners, which included Air America civilians working for the CIA and Air Force helicopter pilot Captain Dwayne Martin. Starving and shackled each night, the group barely survived on a handful of rice a day. One night after overhearing the guards planning to execute them and fake an escape attempt, the men acted. On June 29th, while the guards ate, they slipped free and seized weapons. The prisoners split into 3 groups, with Lieutenant Dengler and Captain Martin fleeing together. They built a raft and floated downriver, but later became lost and circled back near the camp. After days of hiding in an abandoned village, Lieutenant Dengler managed to start a fire using powder from old cartridges. They waved torches at a C-130 flying overhead, but no rescue came. The 2 men were spotted by locals, and Captain Martin was killed by a villager. Lieutenant Dengler escaped, and despite starvation and hallucinations, returned to the village and set huts on fire to attract attention. On July 20th, 23 days after his escape, he was spotted by U.S. Air Force pilot Colonel Eugene Dietrich. Though no airmen were reported missing in the area, Colonel Dietrich insisted on a rescue. Lieutenant Dengler was picked up, weighing just 98 pounds. Later promoted to lieutenant, Dieter Dengler left the Navy in 1968 and passed away on February 7, 2001 at the age of 62. There's much more to Lieutenant Dieter Dengler's story, which is told in the 1997 documentary, Little Dieter Needs to Fly.